Welcome to Update News. Online. Governor Jack Markell and State Attorney General Beau Biden have announced a series of bills aimed at strengthening the gun laws in Delaware. Markell has proposed a ban on assault weapons and high-capacity ammunition clips, a statewide database of gun owners, and stricter background checks for private firearm sales.
It's quite simple. It would require criminal history background checks in connection with the sale or transfer of a gun between private parties, that is, transactions not involving a licensed dealer. It's not a universal background check law, but it's really close. There are a few narrow exceptions, and those are sales or transfers involving immediate family members. That means a parent, a grandparent, a child, grandchild, sibling, or spouse. That's it. That's number one. Number two, sales or transfers involving law enforcement officers who are qualified and authorized to carry a gun. That's number two. And number three, antique firearms, and those are those manufactured before 1899. Persons who violate this law would be subject to a Class A misdemeanor for a first offense, and any subsequent offense would be a Class G felony.
Former Republican Governor Mike Castle endorsed the stricter rules on background checks.
And I think legislation like this will help a great deal in making sure that some of the wrong people out there won't get guns. I don't think any one of us is going to stand here and say this is going to solve all the problems of the use of guns in the United States of America or the state of Delaware. But the bottom line is we think it's a step in the right direction.
Our law enforcement officers are here. They could tell you it's not going to stop people buying guns, but it will reduce that cost or reduce that number. And I think that's what we're looking for. Every step that we take is one step closer to solving the problem.
Attorney General Biden is supporting legislation being introduced by State Representative Helene Keeley, which changes Delaware's bail system, making it tougher on repeat violent criminals.
The crux of these bills is to make sure, both the constitutional amendment and the statutory change, is to make sure that dangerous individuals, from the moment they're arrested, come off our street if we can demonstrate to a court that they're a risk of flight or danger to the community, number one. And number two, to make sure that if someone is out on bail, and they commit another crime, that there's going to be significant consequences. And they're going to forfeit not just their liberty, but also the money they put up to be out on bail.
The new laws would require the source of bail funding be identified, which attempts to eliminate the use of proceeds gained through criminal activity. Additionally, any person who was charged with a violent felony and released on bail will forfeit the bail if they are found to have committed another violent felony. A new act would also change the provisions for which the accused can be held without bail.
I'm very happy that we now have another tool in the toolbox to fight the crime, not just in Wilmington. I mean, that's where I live, that's where I represent, so my heart is here. But this is happening up and down the state. I mean, it has gotten to a level where these criminals, they do not care. And we have to give them a reason to care, and I'm very hopeful that this bill will do just that.
This is Update News.